Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of NEWS2. I'm Sandra Gomez singing our top story. Centennial Events are on the way, and this weekend one of the highlighted events is needing support from the community. Centennial administrators exclaim that some of the Centennial events are funded by business and corporate sponsors, but some sponsors haven't contributed as planned, and support is needed to pay the expenses of the event, which is providing a free concert to residents. Here's more.
The 20th Legislature of the Virgin Islands had prepared for the Centennial Commemoration 7 years prior to this year. In Act 7157, legislators established the Centennial Commission and a Centennial Special Fund to facilitate events beginning after August 2016 to December 31st, 2017. Commemoration activities have been occurring throughout the year and will continue to occur until the end of 2017. Next weekend, the Centennial Parade on St. John is scheduled to occur on March 22nd, followed by the Fort Fete event on March 24th at Fort Christian in St. Thomas, which will also showcase a boat parade scheduled for 12 p.m. However, the scheduled Fort Fete event has a $16,000 shortfall in funding. The Assistant Executive Director of the Centennial Commission spoke further.
Well, as I indicated, we originally conceptualized the event on the 24th, the actual kickoff event, to be a privately funded event. I want to acknowledge that we've gotten some contributions towards it.
Fort Christian hasn't been open to the public since May of 2005, and the fort's doors will reopen this month, but not for the Fort Fete event.
Fort Fete, I don't want to speak on behalf of the Centennial Committee, but I think that is a function that is happening outside of the fort, but not inside. I know that happens before the 29th, so that is happening outside. That is not the official opening of the fort.
Kevin Jackson, the executive director of the Centennial Commission, stated that the Centennial was receiving a large amount of support.
Once again, private organizations, schools, and individuals. The number of proposals has increased drastically. Well, I shouldn't say drastically, tremendously. And it's wonderful to see the innovative and thoughtful proposals that have been put together by these individuals.
For NEWS2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
Now, dignitaries from Denmark will be visiting the territory during the Transfer Centennial Commemoration, as we shared this month. And Shelley Moorhead, head of the Caribbean Reparations and Resettlement Alliance, is in Denmark lecturing at several forums. Today, Moorhead lectured at the Roskilde University about the 1917 transfer. Here's more.
Governing the cession of the Danish West Indies from the Kingdom of Denmark to the United States of America guaranteed absolutely no rights and no privileges to those referred to in the treaty as inhabitants, people that look like me. Rights and privileges, however, were guaranteed to Danish citizens and Danish subjects. Danish citizens, of course, would be those people that were born in Denmark. Danish subjects were those Danes who were born in the colony.
Now, the Danish government and Mr. Søren Black from the Danish Council, they are extending two wonderful opportunities for students and teachers to visit and engage two very different types of vessels that will be in the territory in commemoration of the Transfer Centennial. While both types of vessels are designated warships, they are used almost exclusively to train young cadets to become professional sailors and officers. The sailing vessels Swanen and Thera are 60 feet Bermuda sloop-rigged international open ocean racers that will be competing in this year's St. Thomas International Regatta, which is March 24th to the 25th. The tall ship Danmark is scheduled to arrive in St. Thomas March 28th and remains here until April 1st when she arrives in St. Croix. At 234 feet, it is a much larger training ship and international nautical ambassador for the government of Denmark. Savman and Thera Yacht Haven Grand, that will be from the 20th to the 21st March from 10 to 3. The Denmark will be in Crown Bay from 29th to 30th of March from 10 to 4. The Denmark will be in Christians at St. Croix April 1st, and that's tentative. Be sure to count on 2. We will keep you updated on those dates and the times you can kind of tour the ships. As the formal representative of Denmark, Prime Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen will be among the distinguished guests attending the ceremonies to commemorate the anniversary of the territory of the USVI on St. Croix and St. Thomas. He'll be here on March 31st. In an official statement, he said, the statement right there, you see he made a very full statement there. In the Prime Minister's New Year's Day message, his address to the nation of Denmark, he made mention of this year's centennial, the commemoration, and noted that many Danes are expected to take part in this year's events. The Danish Prime Minister will be accompanied by his wife, Solrun Rasmussen. Virgin Islands Transfer Centennial, they're getting ready for the events, the series of events that kicks off on March 24th to April 2nd. Fort Fete and Fort Christian reopening, that's on St. Thomas. Events include 9 a.m. in the yacht in Emancipation Garden, 2 p.m. boat parade in Charles-de-Mali Harbor, 4 p.m. Rising Star Steel Band show, and then 6 p.m. a ceremony in Emancipation Garden. A free concert follows immediately. March 26th, National Parade at the National Park Dock, ending at the Battery Cruise Base St. John, 2 p.m. The Governor's Reception at the Battery, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Then the Cruise Bay Block Party, that's at Powell Park, that follows from 6 p.m. to 10. March 29th is the Governor's Reception at Fort Christian, St. Thomas, 6 to 8 p.m. March 30th, it's the Governor's Reception, Government House, Christiansted, St. Croix, also 6 to 8 p.m. March 31st is the Transfer Day activities on St. Croix. Parade begins at 8 a.m. to 10. Right after that, a ceremony from 10 to 12. Then on St. Thomas, parade starts from 2:30 to 3:30. Then the ceremony begins at 4 to 6. April 2nd, the big Centennial Gala Ball, St. Croix. That's a paid event. Renaissance, Carambola Beach Resort and Spa, 7 p.m. to 10. Now, the St. Croix and St. Thomas St. John school districts, they're commemorating the centennial with 2 full days of activities on each island. All activities are free and open to the public. This is also National Agriculture Week, and the schedule is right there. The both school district, they have a wonderful lineup of agriculture-focused activities planned. Activities are free and open to the public. There's an open house at the Agriculture Fairgrounds, St. Croix, Wednesday, March 22nd. On St. Thomas, there's a tour of the St. Thomas Abattoir. That's on Friday, March 24th. We'll have more on that as well. On March 17, police at approximately 10:35 p.m., 911 reported shots fired in Estate Strawberry. Shortly thereafter, they reported a male victim who was shot in the chest. The victim was discovered by officers and later transported to the Wanlui Hospital. The victim stated while walking home, a male suspect with a black shirt covering his face came out the bushes and started firing shots at him, striking him twice in the chest and left arm. The victim also stated that he saw a blue SUV leaving the area at a high rate of speed. The Criminal Investigation Unit was on the scene, and they're asking the community for information on all gun violence. You can call them at 340-778-2211 on St. Croix. It's 340-774-2211. And then Crime Stoppers you can call as well, 1-800-222-TIPS or 911. A wanted poster was issued from the VIPD last week, and the VIPD is still looking for 44-year-old Jacobo Garcia. He is wanted for punching and physically assaulting a family member. Garcia is wanted for assault, 3rd degree. His height is 5'9", 180 pounds, black hair, brown skin complexion, mustache, and dark brown hair. Police say he's a former professional boxer and frequents the Anna's Hope and Prophet area. They say if you see Jacobo Garcia, approach with caution and contact 911 or the VIPD domestic unit at 340-778-2211. You can also contact Crime Stoppers. Chief District Court Judge Wilma Lewis last week sentenced Kalomi Kambui, 41 of St. Croix, to 18 months in prison for attempted possession of a controlled substance. Judge Lewis also sentenced Kambui to 3 years of supervised release and ordered her to pay a fine of $500 and a special assessment of $100. Court records indicate on September 20th, 2016, Kambui pleaded guilty to attempted possession of a controlled substance, according to documents filed in court on June 13, 2013, while she was employed as a corrections officer at Golden Grove Adult Correctional Facility, Golden Grove, Kambui accepted what she believed to be ecstasy pills, along with payment for the purpose of delivering the pills to an inmate inside Golden Grove. Well, the second victim from the cockpit shooting on St. Croix was pronounced dead, according to information released by the Virgin Islands Police Department. Lawrence Greenwich had sustained a gunshot wound to the head while attending a cockfight in Estate Glen. Official reports had stated that Greenwich was airlifted, but we learned that he was not stable enough to make the trip and remained at the Wanlawee Hospital for further treatment. Additionally, there is no exact information on Greenwich's age. Initially, reports stated that he was 59, then information was released that the victim was 28, and further information was released that the victim was around the age of 37 to 39. The Criminal Investigation Bureau is working on all leads for this case. Again, be sure to contact them if you can assist in the investigation. Well, today kicked off a blockbuster week on Capitol Hill. Several major events test the mettle of the GOP majority and the relationship with the Trump White House. Lawmakers heard testimony on Russia's influence in the U.S. election with just 8 words. FBI Director James Comey delivering a major blow to President Trump, debunking the president's claim that Trump Tower was wiretapped by then-President Obama during the 2016 campaign. The White House is avoiding a direct response to Comey. Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch with the New York Stock Exchange. According to the numbers there, we can see the Dow down 8, NASDAQ down as well, S&P 500 down at 4. Coming up on NEWS2, we have highlights from St. Patrick's Day and food in abundance at Afternoon on the Green at UVI. Those highlights coming up next. We'll have more of those highlights a little later on. That's the celebration St. Patrick's Day on the Big Island. Well, at a government house promotion last week, 45 members of the Virgin Islands Police Department were elevated to new ranks. 7 were sworn in as captains, 12 were sworn in as lieutenants, and 26 as sergeants. Governor Kenneth Mapp joined Police Commissioner Delroy Richards and St. Croix Police Chief Winsbuck McFarland Sr. to congratulate the officers. Superior Court Magistrate Judge Jessica Gallivan administered the oath. Now, the Virgin Islands Police Department, they hosted a promotional ceremony for the ranks of captain, lieutenant, and sergeant today at a government house ceremony in Christiansted, St. Croix, and another will be scheduled also on Tuesday, March 21st, 10 a.m. at the UVI campus at the Sports and Fitness Center. Virgin Islands Department of Education, they're informing the public of upcoming tsunami drills. As you know, this is Tsunami Awareness Week. It's scheduled at schools in the St. Thomas St. John district in March. Businesses and residents in proximity to the schools should not be alarmed during these standard emergency drills. Some of the schools participating so far: Janie Twitt Primary School, that's March 21st, 10:15 a.m. Dober Elementary School, March 28th at 10 a.m. Gladys Abraham on March 28th from 9 a.m. and Charles Molly High School, March 30th. The administration, faculty, and staff at Lou Muckle Elementary School, they conducted the school's 2016-17 second market period Stellar Citizens Award ceremony. That was held on March 13th for students who have performed exemplary, both academically and socially. 21 students were recognized and received certificates for making the principal's honor roll, while another 115 students accepted certificates for making the regular honor roll. In addition to exceptional academic performance in the classroom, students were also awarded certificates for perfect attendance and for scoring above average in the standardized Smarter Balanced tests that were taken at the end of the 2015-2016 school year. Antilles School students Kashish Chainani, Tanya Merchandani, and Aishwara Nakpal and Good Hope Country Days Patrick Boren will represent the U.S. Virgin Islands in the 2016 2017 Raython Math Counts National Championship slated for May 14th to the 15th in Orlando, Florida. The students earned the top scores in both the sprint and target rounds combined. The students won the rights to represent the Virgin Islands during the state math counts competition that was held on Thursday, March 16th at the BCB Middle School Library. Chainani ranked first with a score of 22, Merchandani second, scoring 13, Nakpal scored 11, and Boren ranked fourth place with a score of 9. The competition included a sprint round, target round, and team round. The Herman E. Moore Golf Course at UVI was the place to find food, fun, and fellowship on Sunday, March 19th as the community gathered for the 28th annual Afternoon on the Green. The theme for this year's event was, and it was open to the public, it was a centennial celebration of delicacies. It's the largest taste event in the territory, which always attracts over 3,500 people annually. This time was no different. The Afternoon on the Green featured food cooked by some of the best chefs on the island, live entertainment, family fun consisting of bounce houses, face painting, balloon animals and games, and friendly competition for the best food in a variety of categories. And we will be sure to share with you all the winners as soon as we get all the names. In an effort to effectively prepare for the upcoming Virgin Islands Carnival festivities, Office of the Governor, in conjunction with the Office of the St. Thomas Water Island Administrator and the Department of Public Works, they're reminding the public that come April 8th, it's the last day to park in the Fort Christian parking lot. April 9th to 11th, 2017, the Department of Public Works will begin outfitting the parking lot for the Carnival Village. April 12th to 17th, booth owners will gain access to the parking lot for booth placement. April 21st, the official opening of Wang's Musical Haven. That will begin at 6 p.m. This Thursday, just a reminder, March 23rd and Friday, March 24th, regularly scheduled programming will be preempted on TV2 due to coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. As was the case last week, programming will be preempted from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., then 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. NEWS2 also will be preempted on both days. Please note the following daytime programming right there that will be preempted on the screen and the times. There was a giant green wave of happy dancing people for St. Croix's annual St. Patrick's Day Parade on Saturday with 30 entries. There was plenty of entertainment to enjoy, from traditional bagpipes, the educational complex and Central High School marching band, the simply sophisticated troupe, and everything in between. Parade veterans and newcomers got their Irish on, and everybody had something they loved about the parade. Here's more.
About St. Patty's is watching Complex and Central's bands.
St. Patty's Day. Everyone's Irish, no matter who you are.
My favorite part of St. Patty's Day is this, that guy, this girl. We're all in green. Big Mo at the St. Patty's Day Parade. TV2, one time. Act like you know what's going on. If you ain't here, you need to be here.
They had fun and the weather was not too bad. Stick around. Speaking of which, we have the AccuWeather forecast coming your way next.
Well, we have some great boating weather and mainly dry conditions here across the area for the Virgin Islands for tonight. Tomorrow, maybe only a spotty shower, but as you take a look, there's an area of high pressure sitting just to the south. Now, eventually, we will see the winds start to turn more easterly. Those easterly trade winds will kick in as we go into the late week. But taking a look here across the area, things pretty quiet across the Virgin Islands. Puerto Rico has been seeing some showers and thunderstorms around those higher spots. But for us, mainly cloudy tonight, temperature of 72, or mainly clear, I should say, a temperature of 72. Tomorrow in St. John, partly sunny skies with a high temperature of 83 degrees. And in St. Thomas, 83 degrees as well, partly sunny. As we head into St. Croix, we're at 84 degrees with partial sunshine. As I mentioned, only a spotty shower. Most locations will likely be dry. Good boating weather, though. Waves are 2 to 4 feet. Winds are light out of the east east at 5 to 10 knots. No advisories or warnings in effect. Same thing on the Caribbean side. Waves are 2 to 4 feet, and we have winds out of the east at 5 to 10 knots. So pretty quiet weather here for your Tuesday. Now, Wednesday, there might be a little bit of an uptick. A little better chance for a shower or two around the area. And then on Thursday, even more. So just look at it as progressively more of a shower chance. So Thursday, we'll see a shower or two in the area, a temperature of 83 degrees. And then for Friday and Saturday, we'll have some spotty showers. We start to see those easterly winds and more moisture content starting to move in. So that is going to give us enhanced shower chances. In fact, as we head through the late week and weekend, we will have to monitor this because we could see a situation where we see frequent showers and it might become more active in the forecast. Sandy?
Thank you for that. Let's take a look at the News 2 weather picture there by Janai Orellin of Ricardo Richards Elementary School. Janai is hoping for some smooth sailing this whole week with some sunshine and clouds and nice, colorful rainbow type sunshine. Janai, thank you for that. Send us your News 2 weather picture to the address on the screen and tune in to see it right here on News 2. Stick around, we have much more straight ahead. News 2 Sports comes your way next.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. If you're like me, you've been watching the NCAA tournament the last couple of days, well, feel free to join me in doing this. Yep, my brackets are toast. On to the Sweet 16. Thanks to some great upsets, we're going to start with the East Region. Number 7, South Carolina versus Duke. 9.5 minutes left, and the Gamecocks are rolling. Notice with the easy bucket. Dozier with the friendly bounce. And in transition, notice again with the hoop. And finally, the Gamecocks, well, they break the press. Mackey with the slam. And South Carolina wins 88-81. In the Midwest Regionals, number 7 Michigan versus number 2 Louisville. 1 minute left. Michigan up by 4, and Louisville steal. Then the guy finds Mitchell for the layup. Now with a 2-point game. Then Michigan's Derek Walton. High off the glass, and the Wolverines advance 67-65. And on Saturday night, East Regional, number 1 overall Wisconsin, number 1 overall Villanova taking on the Wisconsin Badgers. Under 20 ticks left on the clock, the score is tied, and Wisconsin's Nigel Hayes, he goes baseline. The Badgers are up by 2. Less than 10 seconds left, Nova's Josh Hart drives and is stopped. Last chance for Nova, but they can't get a shot, and the Badgers beat the defending NCAA champs, Villanova, 65-62. From the NCAAs to the USVI, better late than never, last Wednesday's boys varsity championship game for the St. Thomas St. John District. It was Charlotte Amalie versus the Antilles School in a back-and-forth affair that was eventually won by the Chicken Hawks, 60-54. Chicken Hawks coach Boise Todman offered his analysis of the win.
The key to us winning this game today was we dig down deep on defense, which defense is our strong point. The defense we played is tough once they play the right way. Offensively, we outmanned them inside, and as you see down the stretch, we went inside consistently to Nassim Huggins, and whatever the difference come down the stretch, he contribute everything inside, he convert all the inside basket, and that carried us to the victory. They cut the lead to 2 points with a minute and change. But again, defense is our key for the remainder of this season, and if we could pound the ball inside consistently, we will be all right.
That's it for sports. Sandy, back to you.
Some great highlights there. Thanks for that, Gary. Well, that's all for this edition of News 2. We leave you with some music from Afternoon on the Green, The Pan in Motion. There's more. We'll see you next time.